This is 7 National News, and in our top story, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, has received Sheikh Shawqi Ibrahim Allam, the Grand Mufti of Egypt, during his weekly meeting with ministers, dignitaries and senior officials at Zabil Palace. During the meeting, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid and the Egyptian Mufti had exchanges on the topics discussed during the Islamic Economic Forum, which concluded on Tuesday in Dubai. They also reviewed the most important resolutions and recommendations of the scholars and experts participating in the forum. The ruler of Dubai stressed that Muslims need to have muftis who master the principles and science of Islamic jurisprudence and who issue fatwas or edicts that establish the moderation and tolerance of Islam against extreme fatwas that, according to His Highness, are far from the spirit of tolerant Islam. Additionally, at the meeting, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed also received Vincent Gonzalez Losertales, the Secretary General of the International Exhibition Bureau, the BIE, the organization in charge of overseeing and regulating the World Expos. During the meeting, the two parties talked about the ongoing preparations for the hosting of Expo 2020 Dubai in the UAE and the progress made by the Higher Preparatory Committee. The Federal National Council has passed the Food Safety Draft Law, while amending some of its articles and introducing new ones at the 12th session of the 15th Legislative Chapter yesterday. The Council's Speaker, His Excellency Mohammed Ahmed Al-Mur, was quoted as saying that the food safety law shall be enforced in all the UAE territories, including the free zones. Members of the Council added that under the law, dealing in adulterated food and any stage of the supply chain is punishable by at least 3 months of imprisonment or a fine of 100,000 to 1 million dirhams. Furthermore, the Council members tabled 6 questions to government representatives on topics related to Emiratization, renewable energy, housing, services to pilgrims, and services offered by the Marriage Fund. FNC members informed that the Council also adopted a recommendation to implement the Cabinet resolution to increase housing grants offered by the Zayed housing program to 800,000 dirhams from 500,000 dirhams, while forming a higher committee for Hajj affairs under the chairmanship of a cabinet minister. Intensified police measures have slashed cases of human trafficking in Dubai to less than half the number of those found in 2014. From 13 in 2013, human trafficking cases in the Emirate declined to 6 in 2014, thanks to the opening of a human rights office at the Dubai airport, as well as the distribution of more booklets on human rights to incoming passengers, intensified contacts with foreign diplomatic missions in the country, and other police measures. According to Brigadier Mohammed Al-Mur, the director of the Dubai Human Rights Department, all of these measures have contributed to a sharp decline in the human trafficking cases and to an improvement in human rights records. Additionally, Al-Mur was quoted in local reports as saying that the department also handled 1,408 workers' cases and managed to recover 21.5 million dirhams in delayed wages for workers. He said 148 companies were blacklisted last year over workers' human rights abuses. The UN refugee agency UNHCR has signed for 10,000 flat pack shelters as part of its mission to improve the living conditions of thousands of refugee families around the world, in collaboration with Better Shelter and IKEA Foundation. According to the Chief of Shelter and Settlement at UNHCR, Sean Scales, the refugee housing unit is an exciting new development in humanitarian shelter and represents a new addition to the palette of sheltering options, ensuring dramatic improvement to the lives of refugees around the world. The UN Relief Agency's head added that the new, safer, innovative, and more durable shelter introduced for refugee families affected by violence, conflict, persecution, and natural disasters is an innovative approach to designing, keeping their needs at the heart of the development process. Representatives at UNHCR said that the prototype has been tested and improved by 40 refugee families in Iraq and Ethiopia. Giving more details about relief shelter units, representatives of Better Shelter were quoted as saying that the relief shelter's lifespan is 3 years and it can be assembled on site without additional tools and equipment, with a solar panel and lamp to provide light during the darker hours. Relief officials said the production of shelters is about to begin, and in the summer of 2015, UNHCR will start providing the shelter to thousands of families in refugee camps. Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road has topped the list of the most fatal zones as far as traffic goes in the Emirate last year, with a total of 25 rescue missions according to the Dubai Police Air Rescue Section. Lieutenant Colonel Khalfan al-Mazrou'i, the head of Dubai Police Air Rescue Section, was quoted in local reports as saying that these were the most serious accidents which required the air rescue to help and transport victims to hospitals. It was also pointed out that the time between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. is the most critical, as the majority of accidents takes place within this time zone. For last year, police statistics showed that Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road was the most fatal zone, with air rescue called to help in 25 accidents. The second highest fatal zone was the Jabal Ali area, with the air rescue unit responding to 23 accidents. The third zone was both Al-Hibab and Al-Awir areas, with 13 accidents in each, and the Dubai Al Ain Road and Sheikh Zayed Road with 11 accidents on both. And Sheikh Rashid bin Saqr al-Qasimi Square will be closed for 3 months from Tuesday as it gets a 38 million dirhams overhaul. The Sharjah Roads and Transport Authority said traffic lights will be installed at the junction and the intersection will be completely removed and rebuilt in works that are expected to be finished in June. According to RTA, the road will be widened to include 5 lanes, U-turn points, and service roads added to ease congestion. Rainwater drainage systems and communication lanes, as well as electricity and water pipes, will be rerouted during the work to ensure no service disruption occurs. Motorists are being urged to opt for an alternative route during the roadworks. And finally, in the bulletin, Dubai Airport's 24-day switch off in the run-up to Earth Hour on March 28th will save an estimated 230,000 kilowatt hours in energy, which is enough to power an average home for approximately 15 years. The campaign, which has involved switching off all non-essential lights at Dubai International and Al Maktoum International at Dubai World Central for an hour daily since March 5th. According to officials from the airport, this is the 7th consecutive year it has participated in the important global event and the 2nd year of its 24-day-long green initiative. The airport further added that while the direct outcome in terms of energy savings is considerable and positive, the campaign's real objective is at creating awareness among the thousands of people who are part of the workforce across the airport, as well as the hundreds of thousands of passengers that pass through terminals every day. To spread the message even wider, Dubai Airports has organized entertainment events and activities with an environmental theme for employees and their families on March 28th at Zabiel Park.